All right, Middle-aged white guy reacts, coming back again with another Tom MacDonald. This time, we are doing No Lives Matter. Now, I think I am mentally prepared for this song. I am ready to go, okay? Just finished up Cancer, which was rough to get through. Thank God I did that last night, not this morning. Would not have liked starting my day with that one. For obvious reasons. Anyway, No Lives Matter. Now, I'm mentally prepared, like I said. But watch. Tom likes throwing curveballs, so this one's going to be about flowers and sunshine. I don't know. So, let's go. Come on, Tom.
Hip-hop diet is full of guys who cannot even rap. Media dividing us by colors, white or black. If you believe in Jesus, these days Christians get attacked. If you don't hate police, then everybody thinks you're whack. Everything's so connected. Black Lives Matter got so aggressive. White folks who agree can't support the message. Both sides go to war because they don't respect it.
This is what I thought it was going to be. All right. Let's go over that real quick. What did he say in here?
You don't hate police and everybody thinks you're whack. And everything's so connected. Black Lives Matter got so aggressive. White folks who agree can't support the message. Both sides go to war because they don't respect it.
And that's the truth. I mean, look at how it started. It was a grassroots movement, and it was legitimate. And it was something that I think, you know, in its infancy, we all could get behind, right? They got pretty damn aggressive though, didn't they? Okay. And then they put us in a spot, man. Like, you know, a lot of these movements, they get taken over. Okay. And then they start becoming money machines for the people who are leading it. And then the message changes and the purpose changes, and, you know, so that's how that goes.
Lives Matter got so aggressive. White folks who agree can't support the message. Both sides go to war because they don't respect it. Our social climate from the global tension turned to total violence and a whole depression. We could unify and then I'll go against them, but we let them divide us with votes and elections.
Tom.
Music we
Like I said, I've been saying, you know, we're forced to pick one side or another when things are not black and white like that. You know, hold on. Let's hear that again. He's saying a lot.
Go to war because they don't respect it. Our social climate from the global tension turned to total violence and a whole depression. We could unify and then I'll go against them, but we let them divide us with votes and elections.
You know, and like I've said, the division is class. It's not left, right, black, white. The division is class, and that's it. And as long as they keep us focused on these superficial things, we can't unify. All right. Look at what happened when we did briefly. If anybody was paying attention to GameStop, if you guys are, you know, in the stock market at all, hedge funds were shorting GameStop. They ended up somehow shorting 140% of available shares. Okay. If there's 100 shares available, how they got an extra 40% on top of that, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but they shorted 140% of the available shares. What happened? People started noticing this. All of us little people unified, and we started buying GameStop. I didn't. I was late. I missed it. But they, started buying up GameStop, and they started jacking the price up. And, you know, the short positions have to cover at a certain point. Basically what you're doing when you're shorting is you're selling at a price, assuming it's going to go down, and then you buy at the lower price later on. So, essentially, okay? So, they had bought at a price, assuming, and then every time they short, it drives that price down even further. We started jacking the price up by buying the ask, okay? Which made them forced to cover at a loss. And these hedge funds that were in GameStop lost billions of dollars because of regular, everyday people throwing $1,000 at GameStop. You know, I mean, we shook the financial markets, shook them. And they're just praying to God that we can't do this anymore. But see, we need to unify, because when we do, we have the power, not them.
Hey, the music we bump, all about shooting guns and doing drugs. Hey, whoa, the things that we want are promoted subliminally through the songs.
Yep.
Like, you need a fast car, you need designer clothes, you need a rap star to tell you to start popping pills, hit the blunt, and go live at the club till you're broke. It's all controlled by the elites, fake news all over our screens, convincing the right to go fight with the left and distract from the fact it's each other we need. Divided by race and religion.
Now, some groups on both sides are just too far gone, okay? Let's be honest. The far, far left and the far, far right are probably too far gone. And, you know, everybody likes to focus on the far right, but I'm telling you, the far left, there's more of them, and they're doing things, all right? So they're out there doing things. I don't see the far right out there doing things, so. But anyway, everybody else, you know, we need to get over this left-right dichotomy. You know, it's false. It's not even real. It's not even real.
Gated into teams. You a white supremacist. If you're not, I guess you Antifa. Screaming from the rooftops. Beat.
Exactly. I mean, you know, and you know, they're forcing us into these boxes. They're forcing us to pick sides, one or the other. There's no more room for nuance. There's no, you know, there's no disagreeing with whichever side you pick anymore. It's ridiculous.
Down better, turn us on each other now, no lives matter.
Hold on.
Not, I guess you Antifa. Screaming from the rooftops, beat down better, turn us on each other now, no lives matter. If we do what the news wants, blood gon' splatter, turn us on each other till no lives matter.
Isn't that the truth? You know what the news wants. You know what the news wants. You know, they're driving this division. They're fueling the flames. You know what they want. Why do they want it? Because then you can clamp down on the citizenry. You could pretty much abolish the Constitution and implement whatever kind of social controls that you want. So that's what they want. That's what they want us to do. They want us to fight with each other. Put it that way. I'm not going to say the word that they want to happen.
Freedom's dead. If you have an opinion, take it back. People hate the president. If you don't, then you trash. Indoctrinate the nation using news and mainstream rap. The government abuses us. It's all part of the plan. And it's so confusing. Black Lives Matter is a valuable movement, but all lives matter ain't racist or stupid. It's non-black humans who don't feel included. All colors fall under laws to govern the whole.
Hold on.
And it's so confusing. Black Lives Matter is a valuable movement, but all lives matter ain't racist or stupid. It's non-black humans who don't feel included.
Hold on, I need to hear that one more time.
Matters a valuable movement, but all lives matter ain't racist or stupid. It's non-black humans who don't feel included.
Black Lives Matter was a valuable movement at first. And if I say, you know, all lives matter, I'm including Black Lives Matter in that. You know? So, and I get it. I get it from both sides. I believe he said in If I Were Black that basically we say all lives matter to kind of devalue their movement. And I could see that. But the way they went about it made all lives matter come out of our mouths. They overplayed their hand. Way overplayed their hand. They had public sentiment on their side. But then they just kept going. They didn't know when to stop. And, you know, it is what it is now. It is what it is.
All colors fall under laws to govern the whole country and we all suffer.
Hold on. What did you say?
Black Lives Matter is a valuable movement, but all lives matter ain't racist or stupid. It's non-black humans who don't feel included. All colors fall under laws to govern the whole country and we all suffer.
All lives fall
Humans who don't feel included. All colors fall under laws that govern the whole country and we all suffer.
Laws that govern the whole country and we all suffer. We all play by the same set of rules. There's the same set of rules for all of us peons, okay? It's definitely a two-tier justice system, don't get me wrong. Definitely. And maybe more than 2 tiers. There might be like 4, 5, or 6 different tiers of this justice system. But the regular everyday people, we all have to operate within the same laws as everybody else. And they are set up in a way that we all can suffer from them, you know? So, you know, our experiences aren't very different.
Black humans who don't feel included. All colors fall under laws that govern the whole country and we all suffer. We're all broke and nobody recovers until we accept that we're all brothers. Hey, the music we make, all about big booties and getting paid. Hey, whoa. We watch the news and it fills up our brains with violence and riots and race. Like this is a race war. You need to hate more. Get what you came for. You need some songs about Xanax and violence so you can escape more. What a vicious cycle we can't break away from. They control the...
Tom. Okay, Tom.
Race, like this is a race war. You need to hate more. Get what you came for. You need some songs about Xanax and violence so you can escape more.
This is a race war. You need to hate more. Get what you came for. It wasn't, who was it? Was it, Maxine Waters was just out basically saying that to a crowd of, peaceful protesters? Why? It goes back to if they could stoke that fire, they could do whatever they want at that point for our own safety. For our own safety.
What a vicious cycle we can't break away from. They control the culture, they control the paper. They're indoctrinating a whole generation till the patriots start to hate the nation. The music we love make.
And isn't that the truth? You know, what's going on in our schools, and we've touched on it. My wife's a teacher, so I don't know if I've said it in videos or in comments, but I have a very unique perspective of the education system and public schools indoctrination. It is. It's horrendous. If you want any chance of your kids not learning this shit, I'll just put it that way, you either need to go to a private school, especially like a Catholic or Christian school. Not that I am like super religious, okay? I'm not a good Catholic. I'll just say it. I'm not a good Catholic, all right? But those schools tend to teach to the morals that are important to me and my wife. All right? She's worked in private schools. She's been in public schools. So she can see the differences between the two. There's a lot more control over the curriculum, a lot more individual control over the curriculum in a private school than there is in public schools. Public schools, they hand you a manual. Here's your indoctrination manual. Teach out of it all year long. Everything's made for them, the worksheets, the questions, everything. Her private school, she had to make her lesson plans. You know, and then there was like a guide, like you want to hit this, this, and this by this time or whatever. But she made it. She got to decide. Like I said, the private schools, they can teach more towards the morals that are important. Whether you're religious or not, you know. The other option, and even the best option, outside of even private school, is homeschooling. You have direct control. We homeschooled our oldest this year because I did not want him masked all day. I did not want him going to school for a week, doing home Zoom classes for a week, going Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week, going Tuesday, Thursday the week after that, taking another week off for Zoom classes, back in school for a week. We just didn't want to do that, okay? It wasn't going to be good. It wasn't going to be conducive to our schedules. And at the end of the last year, when it went completely online, it was torture. And if my kid's going to be homeschooled anyway, I'd rather a curriculum, I'd rather be using a curriculum that was developed by people who actually have specialized in homeschool curriculum for 10, 20, 30 years, rather than a public school who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, trying to get kids to sit on the internet for 8 hours, staring at a goddamn screen all day. Sorry for GDing. But, you know, ridiculous.
Dumb and addicted. The news that we watch is brainwashing the children. The viruses, riots, and racist conditions ain't problems, they're symptoms of life in the system. Screaming from the rooftops, beat down
this guy. Damn, Tom.
Each other now, no lives matter. If we do what the news wants, blood gon' splatter. Turn us on each other till no lives matter. The music will make you dumb. The media makes you hate. And they control them both. There ain't no escape. They put the
and as far as the news, if you guys are getting your news from mainstream news sources, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News even, all right, anything on cable, you're not getting the whole picture. You're not. I stopped looking to mainstream news for my information, okay? Here's how you do it. They are necessary. We need them, though, because here's why. Here's what you do. You go to CNN, take a look at the main articles. Go to Fox, take a look at the main articles. All right, you kind of compare and contrast from there. Then what you do is go do some independent research, okay? Take a couple of stories just to see how the facts actually fit with the narratives being pushed by both outlets, okay? So let's just take the Covington kids, for example. We're all familiar with that story, okay? The narrative was being pushed that these kids were getting in these guys' faces, yada, yada, yada. We all know. Now, if you just look at the clips that were posted on the news, it looks pretty bad for the kids, right? But if you actually go and you find the full unedited clip and you watch it and you see exactly what happened, you're like, how can this be being pushed completely opposite in our news? When it's plain as day from this video, plain as day what happened. Those kids were essentially accosted for wearing MAGA hats. Children. And that kid, I forget his name, but the main one that they were showing, that kid has a lot more patience and a lot more self-control than I do. And that I did at that age, I should say. As a high school student, if a grown man would have gotten into my face like that, I would have puffed up my little bird chest. I would have been standing there, you know, and I would have probably gotten nose to nose with the guy. And I probably would have started trying to walk him down. I mean, you know, I did not take kindly to challenges of my manhood before I was a man, you know, because I thought I was one already. So, yeah, that would have been really bad. I commend that kid for the self-control and the restraint that he showed in that situation. Let's keep going.
media makes you hate, and they control them both. There ain't no escape. They put the world in a state of chaos. Economy crashing and massive layoffs. Black against white or it's left versus right. Divide and conquer and control is the payoff.
Yep.
Screaming from the rooftops, beat down better. Turn us on each other now, no lives matter. If we do what the news wants, blood gon' splatter. Turn us on each other till no lives matter.
Yeah, I mean, he's spot on. He's 100% spot on in everything he just said. Everything. You know, that's the goal. Divide and conquer. Since once they have us divided, they could do anything. Anything. And we can't force enough of a pushback because we can't even agree with each other. So how are we going to unify? Like I said, we saw a brief glimpse of what we can do. We could take down hedge funds, billion-dollar hedge funds in a few days if we unite. And if we apply that across all systems, we could take back control of this country. Not easily, but it can happen. So, there it is. That's the video. No Lives Matter. Tom MacDonald, Middle-Aged White Guy Reacts, is out. Peace.